has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke and the mirrors are memories. Now the sun's gone down like a river rushing way up above. This ain't no sugar-coated love. I stay in bed, I still got the feeling that you're next to me. Stuck in my head when lights go off. You're everything that I could ever want. Your touch so soft. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke and the mirrors are memories. Now the sun's gone down like a river rushing way up above. This ain't no sugar-coated love. This ain't no sugar-coated love. You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke and the mirrors are memories. Now the sun's gone down like a river rushing way up above. This ain't no sugar-coated love.
Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and I am here to help you deliver your value through online video. Welcome, everybody, to our weekly live stream. For those of you who may be new to the live stream, we do this every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're new, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that bell so you receive notifications on future videos. And if you're one of the regulars, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with us once again here on Wednesday night. So, little bit different theme tonight. I'll talk about that and what the whole presence idea is there on the thumbnail, but have something kind of excited about, want to share it with you, something that I'm going to give away, and we'll talk about that a little bit more into the live stream. I definitely want to jump into the chat, though, say hello to everybody. I did see a lot of familiar faces out there, as always, so got to make sure that we say hello. Let's see who is out there. Shadow Speedy out there really early today. Cotton Candy Corner, welcome to the live stream. We have Fleecy Links, Rico's Aquarium, JG03, the Anthony Brown Show, 900 subs here. Almost there, closing in on 1,000. Congrats to you. We have Video Zeus, Christian Gabriel Groman, Harley's out there as well. JB the Pro. Also have Grant Shed. And let's see, scrolling. Don't want to miss anybody. Nandan. We have, getting there. Gotta get through all the conversation that took place before the stream started. Go Groomer out there, Phantom of the Shoes, Awa Prime, Modern Day Family Man, Maddie Loves, Koi Plays, Doug Hewson in the house, Super Rizzo Gamer 44. Hopefully when I get to the bottom of the chat, it's not going to say something like, hey, your audio is off like last week, but you never know. Stuff happens. And let's see. D-Squad, Beauty in the Know. Scrolling. JPD Vlogs. Kibber Kaib Jiu-Jitsu. One of these days I'll figure out the right way to say that. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Gigwagon. Drew, New Edition. Malvic. I am simply Sharonda. Isaac Scott. Welcome, everybody. Rugged Eye, I see out there as well. Uni Productions. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Roxy. Kevin Boston 7. Great to see everybody. Definitely a lot of familiar faces as well as quite a few new faces out there as well. Welcome everybody. If you haven't done so yet and you come here to talk a little YouTube, definitely click that thumbs up button. I do appreciate it. Basically the way the live streams work, we hang out, we'll talk about any questions that you might have about your channel or YouTube in general. I see I'm getting a bad stream status, so I hope that resolves itself here pretty quickly. Definitely let me know if you're seeing any interruptions or buffering on the stream itself. Hopefully that's not the case, and we'll remedy whatever situation it is that might be causing that soon. But so we're going to do a little Q&A. We will get to channel reviews a little bit later. I do want to talk to you about what the giveaway is going to be. It's actually going to be an ongoing giveaway, something that I'm going to do every month. All right, here. Let's see. I see a couple highlighted names in there in the chat, so let me make sure that I touch on those. Audio's perfect. Audio working. No problems. Good. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. Kevin Boston says, since last live stream, 2 major things happened to me. I reached 500 subscribers and I launched merch. Congratulations on both. 500 subscribers is a great milestone to achieve. And also congrats on the merch. Modern Day Family Man says, I sent you a message in Patreon a couple days ago. Definitely have to check that out. Not sure how I didn't get it, but hey, things can happen. We'll definitely have to look that up after the stream, see what is going on there as well. Dan Norton in the house. Great to see you, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out on a live stream. Had the pleasure of spending some time with Dan at Vid Summit in Los Angeles back in, I guess it was October now. That was a great time. If you ever have an opportunity to go to something like Vid Summit, I highly recommend it. It's a great opportunity to interact with other people who are trying to do the same thing you're doing, which is grow your channel, reach more people, maybe even turn this into a living. So if you're interested in all that kind of stuff, a place like Vid Summit is definitely a great place to go. Spike says, looks all good in Western Australia. Excellent. Thank you. Just Rashad. Hey, Dan. I just want to say thank you for all of your tips. I just got my channel approved by YouTube for monetization. Awesome. Congratulations. Welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. Hunter. Hey, breaking internet news. YouTube took away long, non-skippable ads. I have to take a look into that because I haven't heard about that one yet, but definitely some news gets past me gets past me sometime. We'll have to look that one up as well after the stream. Cotton Candy Corner says, what are you drinking? I am drinking coffee. It's one of the curses of, actually, this is the first live stream I've ever had coffee during, but was feeling slightly like it was 9 o'clock at night here on the East Coast in the U.S., so I figured I would do a little coffee, make sure I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for the live stream. All right. Kevin asked if I got confused since we have the same name. We figured it out. Yeah, it was really easy to tell me apart from Dan Norton because he was the one with Daryl Eve's live stream attached to him the entire time at VidSummit. So we were definitely easy to tell apart. iSpike, are you using OBS? Yes, this is the traditional version of OBS. This is not Streamlabs OBS. It's what I've been doing or using for my live streams since I started doing them here on this channel. So this is definitely the evolution of what my live streams, what I've been working to improve upon. So there are some elements on the screen that are from Streamlabs. Streamlabs, they do have widgets or whatever, I think they call them widgets, that you can actually use in OBS over top of your live stream and add the little bells and whistles like the list of subscribers and super chat contributors and all of that. Also, down in the bottom lower right-hand corner, we have a thing that's from Streamlabs called the Stream Boss. It's basically a YouTube channel, somebody who has sent in a super chat. It gets them as the Stream Boss with 100 health points, and each time somebody donates $1, I believe it does, or 20 points damage for each $1 of super chat. So right now, West Coast Cajun Cuisine is still the Stream Boss from the last live stream. The first super chat looks like it's probably going to wipe that channel out and move that new channel in. And basically what happens is your channel stays there until somebody contributes super chat to bring your health points down to 0. And then you're gone and the new guy's there or girl, and they hang out there until somebody does the same to them. So just a fun way to incorporate super chat beyond just getting your stuff pinned to the top of the chat, which is what a super chat normally does. All right, here, make sure... Harley says coffee equals a 3-hour live stream. No promises there. Dan Norton is speaking my language. We need to do a Dan and Dan Mets game vlog in 2009. You say the word and I will find a way to get down there. I don't know if you noticed, but my hat, or my Santa hat, is an actual Mets hat. So, for the record. Let's see. V Worldwide, I had to start using XSplit. I kept getting black screen with OBS. So OBS, there's certainly some occasions where I ran into black screens. One of the things that I originally found out is that when you try to capture Chrome, a Chrome browser, I think by default Chrome browsers have like video or graphic acceleration turned on, and because of that, for some reason OBS doesn't play nice and you have to go into settings in Chrome and turn that off. But that was one of the problems that I originally ran into. Malvik says Yankees all the way. I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna have to ban you from the live stream now. I actually have a homemade bar in the other room, and I have a sign on there. It says something to the effect of, I don't always hate, but when I do hate, I choose to hate the New York Yankees. No offense to any New York Yankee fans who might be out there. All right. Malvik says, seriously, I'm jealous of the beard. Thank you. I don't know how to how do you respond to something like that. All right. Let's see. Your stream at the latest times. But okay, I'm not sure what that means. Hope everyone is doing well. And yes, I'm reading the chat backwards. So let's see. iSpike, we covered that. Okay. So I think I caught up on the chat. That usually never happens, especially with this amount of people in here. So JB the Pro, is the community tab actually all that? It's definitely another way to reach out and engage with your audience. So for that reason, it's definitely handy and helpful. You get to share stuff there that you wouldn't normally get to share on a video. You know, I share pictures and videos. If you want to try to give a video an extra boost, or you post something at night and you want to remind everybody in the morning, you can repost your videos. You can do polls, ask people questions, get feedback and all kinds of things. So like any other feature, I think the community tab is what you make it. And I certainly try to get the most out of it for sure. So let's see. Nandan, what is the best font for YouTube? The one that I actually use, if you're talking about like making thumbnails, and forgive me if I butcher the name, but it's Babas or Babas New, which is Bebas, and then I think it's like Neue. But I think it's a free font that you can go out and download. It's pretty popular. It does a good job. It's nice, blocky, bold font that makes it real easy to read on thumbnails. It's what I typically use on my thumbnails. Let's see here. Gino Cooks, Keto and More, $2 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Boston Red Sox all the way. I don't mind Boston. Well, for obvious reasons, but it was interesting. The one and only time I went to see a game at Fenway, we parked. I don't know. We paid like a ridiculous amount of money to park, and it was basically a lot between two buildings. And then when we came out, they had just stacked cars into this opening. So it wasn't like rows of cars. So our car was literally buried 2 rows of cars deep, and we had to wait for everybody else to leave and come find their cars before we could get out. It was crazy. And then we walked across the street, and there was a bar selling beer that actually had blueberries floating in it. Not really my kind of beer. I mean, we drank it because it was beer, but definitely not my... Don't normally look for fruit floating in my beer. Journey family here. Thank you for your channel review. Thanks to your advice. We gained 500 subs, close to 1K. Awesome. Congratulations on that. Good luck on your next 500 subs. Closing in on 1,000. iSpike, are you okay with networking in the chat within your live stream? Well, you definitely don't want to self-promote in anybody's live stream. Talking to other people in the chat and asking them what they do and things like that is completely fine. But self-promotion is probably not going to be responded to in kind by the by the admins. Just so you know. Doc Rock, yep, there he's got the Babas New listed there. Definitely go check that out. You can get it and download it, and installing fonts is pretty easy. At least on Windows it is. Gino Cook says we all hate the Yankees. Again, no offense to Yankee fans. Of course, I think some people are Yankees fans simply for the fashion statement. Kevin Boston 7, where did you get that hat? Did Merch by Amazon ship it to you free, or did you have to buy your own merch? So this hat is actually not Merch by Amazon. I actually don't sell these. Mostly because none of the free sites really do a good job on hats. I actually have these hats made through a company called Queensboro that does embroidery, which is what this is right here. So these are a little bit different. I have a few of these that I bought when I purchased this order, but it's not something that I sell yet. Which is always a shame, because I'm always more likely to buy a hat than I am to buy a t-shirt. And very few of these places really do a nice hat, because I'm not a big fan of high profile hats, and it seems like a lot of the places go for cheap hats, and they're kind of like this big bucket high hat, and you know, I think, and I also wear my hat like this, and all the places that make hats refer to these, I think, as dad hats or dad caps or something. But whatever they call them, this is how I prefer to wear them. All right, let's see here. Rock River Rider, my channel is almost 5 months old. I have a whopping 5 subs, though I'm in no hurry to grow fast. Working to learn at putting quality content together first. It's definitely a learning process. I would be curious how many videos you've done in those 5 months. And then also what you are focused on. Because you can definitely make a little more progress than that over your next 5 months. You just want to make sure that you're somehow focused on a particular topic or niche of content, and that you're making content consistently. Grant Shed, do you ever think you will do YouTube full time? Yeah, I think at some point that's definitely a possibility. For those of you who don't know, I do have a full-time career during the day, and I do the YouTube stuff at night. So I've always told myself that in order for me to quit my career, I would have to double my career's income on YouTube before I did that. So got a long way to go to do that, though. TechVox, hey, I'm a huge fan of yours from India. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please look at my thumbnails. They are just with the phone. You will be shocked. One video has gone viral as well. Cool for you. It's always good to have a video get some attention. All right. All right. Hey, Alex, you should do some how to do merch videos and website for YouTube. Yeah, I could definitely do that. It's really tricky to do. It's interesting. You have to, the stuff that you feel like would be that people would want to watch, like the stuff that I think is most helpful in actually getting people the skills that they need to actually make this happen, to grow a channel financially, to get to a point where you might be able to support yourself. They don't really do as well as you would expect them to. And I don't know, maybe because they're just not as flashy as they or as other topics. But yeah, it's something that I've definitely done some like money related type, you know, how to make money, how I make money, all the different ways that money can be made on YouTube. They don't tend to fare as well as other content. Malvik, how long exactly did it take you to get the following that you have? So I started this channel in June of 2017, right? Yeah, so we're going on, so December, we're coming up on 18 months. So on the 15th, I guess, the 15th of December, it'll be 18 months. Doc Rock, I ignored SEO as I thought it was a scam. I need to know how to get up to speed with tutorials that are not spammy scams. Please advise. Aloha. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. You know, one of the videos that I'm gonna make in the near future is basically to advise people not to focus on trying to get suggested video. And I know that's like super, you know, against the grain about what everybody's telling you. The reality is, it is, yes, suggested video, aka a viral video, can absolutely explode and take your channel to a completely different place. The reality is, it's kind of like stepping into a batting cage and trying to hit a marble versus a softball. It's a lot easier if you focus on searchable content, or to make your content searchable, because you can absolutely kill it in search. Focus on making searchable titles for your videos, making content that people are looking for, and build your content around those. Now, depending on your channel, you may need to do a mix in some searchable content and some other content. That's fine. But the reality is that if you just make a video focused on suggested with no consideration for search, there's a chance it may go, it may get picked up and go, some level of viral. But the other side of that is if you target something for search, you're definitely going to get some traffic on it, and that video may end up getting into suggested as well. So to me, I think the way that I choose to focus is to focus all my energy on making searchable content, and then allowing YouTube and the audience decide whether or not it's viral worthy, and get into suggested video and start getting spread out across YouTube. So definitely can help you out on the SEO part of that. Hang on 2 seconds and I will let's see here. Oh, do this quick here. I will give you let's make sure. I think this is the one. So this particular, and share and copy. So if you're looking for a video on how ranking in search works, I just shared a link to a video. It's called How to Rank YouTube Videos Fast in 2018. And that basically walks you through that process, gives you a general idea of how you should focus on basically what you want to do when you're making content in that way. Instead of making a video and then trying to find SEO that works for it, you actually plan out the video and then you figure out a keyword phrase that you want to do the video around. So in this case, I do some keyword research and I say, all right, I want to make a video about how to rank your videos in search. So I start looking on YouTube and I see that it's, okay, how to rank YouTube videos fast in 2018 is an actual search phrase that people are searching for. So before I even make the video, I know that's my title and that's the keyword phrase that I'm going to build everything else around. And then I craft the video according to that keyword phrase. And then I build my other keywords around that. I use that in the title. I use that in the description as well. And that gives you the relevancy on the video and helps you to rank against other potentially bigger channels. Now, that said, you do have to give some considerations of just how many other channels there are that are focused on that particular phrase and how big they are, because some phrases are going to be just a little more of a challenge for you to get into, but definitely the way to approach that. Alrighty here. I hope that helped you out, Doc Rock. Kevin Boston 7, I don't have kids, but just curious how you do YouTube videos without neglecting your children. That's why my live streams are at 9 o'clock at night, because I do everything else during the day. So the reason they're on Wednesdays is because Tuesday night there's stuff that I have to do. My daughter does color guard, so there's a whole process involved in that. But yes, my children are the reason that I don't do YouTube until 9 o'clock at night. And I hope that, you know, for anybody who is full-time or anybody who says they don't have time, I work a 40-hour job every week. I have 2 children, a wife, 5 pets in the house. I do all of this from 9 o'clock at night to about midnight or later, depending on what that is. And the success that I've had has all come based on work that I've done part-time in those hours. So there's definitely a lot of time available to you. If this is a goal that you want to work towards, you can definitely find some time to get in there and do that. All right. iSpike live stream 14 hours solo. That is a long live stream. All right, here. Now we see someone who did a 24-hour live stream. Yeah, some of those live streams are pretty crazy. Let's see. And see, the thing that people don't realize about live streams, like right now, there's 50 people in here, and you know, for the good part of the live stream, especially when I do longer live streams, it'll hover around that area. But you don't realize that the people that start in the live stream aren't, I mean, there's a subset of people that watch the whole live stream. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for those of you who do that. But then you have people that come in and out. So like you'll end up with a live stream that had 50, it'll look like it had 50 people in it the entire live stream. But then when it's done, you'll have 200 views because people were coming in and out of the live stream. Isaac Scott, do you have any advice for someone who plateaued at 900 subs? Yeah, I would definitely look at your content. I would look at your subscriber report and analytics and find out where or what type of content you made that the most people subscribe to. And I would try to make more content like that. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody back here. Covered that one. Okay, I think I'm current. Oh, sort of current. We're getting there. I see a lot of people requesting reviews. We'll definitely get to that a little bit later. All right, here. The Ripe Ruin out there. How are you? Good to see you. All right. Steam Enthusiast Productions, when do I get my first play button? Some point after you reach 100,000 subscribers. All right. And creators with kids are up late at nights. That's the way it works. Tanya McGuire, does the number of views matter more in a live stream than watch time? I mean, watch time is what they always drill into us is the most important. You don't really get anything for the views. So if between those, I would have to say watch time is definitely more important than your total number of views. Like if you can keep 10 people in and they watch for 20 minutes, you know, versus 20 people who watch for 2 minutes. TechVox, explain about this live stream. I mean, I want to know if you are streaming with mobile phone. Explain the behind tech of this stream. So I am actually doing this live stream on a desktop computer. Let me see here. This is gonna be like Inception here, but we're gonna try. When you're done, let's see how that worked. Oh, here, let me do that again once without talking through it. All right. So when you're done with this, you can go look at my YouTube stories. I just posted a video of what I'm looking at, which is, so I have a Logitech C920 webcam. I have my computer desk is actually two 32-inch televisions. I use them as monitors because they are typically cheaper than monitors. Plus, if I ever want to use them somewhere else, they're televisions, so it makes sense. So I have two of those. And then I have a softbox light kind of above my head up here. And I have just a single LED bulb off to my left side to kind of balance out the light. And then I have my MXL 770 condenser mic here plugged into a Zoom H4n Pro audio recorder slash audio interface, which is connected to the system. And that all feeds into OBS, which I use to live stream to YouTube. So hopefully that covers the questions that you have. All right. Kevin Boston says, I can't see anybody's YouTube stories. It's not in my app. Do you have any idea why it might not be? Can't. I have no idea other than trying to update your YouTube app. I'm not sure why that would be. Jack Fortnite, I still don't have premieres. Do you think it's because I live in Bermuda? Honestly, I don't know. What did we say? Did we say... I honestly don't remember. It feels like they've been coming out. They've been releasing a bunch of new features. I don't remember what the limit was for premieres. Was it 1,000? Or did they even put a cap on it? I honestly do not remember. West Coast Cajun Cuisine back in there as the stream boss soon to be with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Super chat definitely helps. You know, I was looking at, in 2018, I went to Vid Summit, and that trip cost about, I don't know, I think like $3,500 for me. This year, or 2019, I want to go to more than Vid Summit to interact with people and network and you know, collect some good nuggets of information to share with you guys. So I'm looking at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego in March. And I did the math on that, and that trip would cost about $4,000. Yikes. So trying to see if I can swing it, but we'll have to see what the channel's doing by then, because that's a big chunk of change. I definitely think it'll be worth it. It's just, you know, making that happen between now and then. Because I know a lot of people that are going to be speaking there. I think Daryl Eves and Owen Video and Nick Nimmin are all going to be there. Justin Brown. Grant Shed, I have a Canon G7X and I can't get the setting right on it. Do you know anything about all that? I don't have a Canon GX or G7X, so I couldn't speak to its particular settings. But I would imagine that the proper settings are only a YouTube search away. Let's see. How delayed is the live stream chat for you? I don't know if you can tell on your end or not. It's definitely delayed. I would probably say, I know the video itself is probably a good 5-6 seconds because I actually am looking at the chat on the live stream, the viewing page, just like you guys are watching on, and I can see myself talking. I have it muted so I don't hear myself. But there's definitely a good 5-6 second delay going on right there. Dan Norton, hoping to do Social Media Marketing World in 2020. Hey, don't forget, Dan, we got to do the Northeast event in 2020. I'm actually talking to a hotel in the area right near Albany International Airport. I have one that'll fit the size. I have pricing on it. I got to do a visit. I visit to it. But for those who don't know, I live in the Northeast. I live in upstate New York, and I'm trying to plan a little YouTube get-together here in the Albany, New York area in 2020. Very ambitious. Trying to work out all the details, but going to try to have a small little collection of about 100 creators get together. Let's see. Super Rizzo Gamer 44, I can see your chat. But you keep asking to look at your thumbnails, and I'm not doing that right now. So stop asking. Or that may be the original one, and then you were just asking. But I've definitely seen that particular chat. I'm just not reading any of the ones that are related to asking me to look at stuff right now, because I'll do that later. So once we start talking about channel reviews, bring up those questions again, and then we'll definitely consider those at that time. All right, here. Jack Fortnite, good night. It's getting late for me. Have a good night. You know, I did see from some people who didn't like the time that the live stream is. Unfortunately, this is when I have to do the live stream. I'm sorry it doesn't work out for everybody's schedules, but it is the nature of the beast, I guess. Oh, yeah. See, I knew I saw that. It's in there a couple times. All right. Who is hosting Social Media Marketing World? I don't... Is it Michael Stelzner? There's a website called socialmediaexaminer.com. It's an event that website hosts, but I want to say that the guy who runs it is Michael or somebody Stelzner. But you can go to that website and check them out. Sydney Blasco, do you know any good free video editing software? It depends on what platform that you're using. If you're using an iPhone, for example, then it's definitely iMovie. If you're using desktop, like a PC, I would say Windows Movie Maker. Is that what it's called? I think. Haven't used it in a long time. Creative Fundamentals, do you have any info on the conference you are going to in San Diego? I live in California. It sounds interesting. I imagine that you just caught the part that I just said. And again, I'm reading out of order. So, yeah, Social Media Marketing World. It's in San Diego, March 20th to the 23rd. And if you go to socialmediaexaminer.com, I think that's where you can find more information. Thank you so much to Chris Conkle Vlogs with the Super Chat. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. Hopefully all is going well with you and your channel. Chris Conkle taking over the stream boss. All right, here, let's see. What did I do with... And I need to move that. Start organizing some windows here for later. When we get to the other stuff. Oh, so. Hang on one sec. Let me get this situated. Then I'll tell you about the giveaway and what I'm going to be doing. We need to get into... Come on. Respond. Any day now. All right, there we go. We're getting there. Definitely getting there. Oh, look at you, YouTube. Guess what YouTube did? I just went into this event and it was listing this live stream as not suitable for all advertisers. We're going to play these games again? No way. That's a surprise. It's been a long time since I got one of those. Chris Conkle, things are going really good. I've had a tremendous first year. Thank you so much for everything. Awesome to hear. That's fantastic. But yeah, that's interesting. Limited or no ads. You crazy kids. We've all been through that whole game. We don't need to go back. We don't need to go back in time to all that craziness. V Worldwide. So can you tell me why I see so many creators moving or talking about Thailand? I mean, I know Nick Nimmin and D Nimmin live in Thailand. As for anybody else's motivation, I mean, I certainly see some perks with it, but I also see some stuff that would scare me from doing it. When you see some of the stories about how they navigate around town to avoid the police who want to shake down the tourists for money. But I'm sure it's really beautiful there. And I got to imagine it's just a completely different lifestyle. Let's see. All right. Grant Shed, what camera do you use? This right now I'm live streaming with the Logitech C920. Yeah, the AI, yeah, it's crazy. And you want to know the funny thing is I literally have a template saved for my live streams. So the title, the description, and the thumb or the tags are all identical on all my streams. So the idea that this one live stream would be flagged as not suitable is kind of an interesting occurrence to me. So hopefully YouTube's not doing any crazy stuff again. All right. Oh, Southern Alberta Redneck, I owe my 62 subs to Dan. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's see. Oh, this scrolling. I see people looking for channel reviews. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Doug Houston says some 2018 nostalgia. Maybe this is YouTube's year in review. This is the real YouTube rewind. They're gonna demonetize everybody. iSpike currently using my iPhone XS Max with my personal hotspot and as a modem tethered to my 27-inch iMac. All good. That is the same phone I have, and I love it. Beauty of the Know, I'm thinking about a live stream, but a little nervous and wondering if anyone would show up. So the key to doing that is you plan your live stream like you would plan a video. You come up with a topic, you lay out some bullet points, and then you cover the topic in your live stream. So you just kick into your live stream, you cover the topic just like you were recording it for a video, and don't worry about who is in the actual chat. At the end of presenting that topic and that content, if people show up, then you can have a conversation. If nobody shows up, you can always end the live stream and trim your live video to just that content, and you have a video. If people do show up and you end up having a conversation with them, you can leave the entire live stream there just the way it is. Plus, you can download it, trim off the chat portion of it, and then you can upload it as its own succinct video on the topic that you're covering. That gives you something to talk about if there's nobody to talk to. Plus, it gives you the opportunity for 2 pieces of content. Saying Gita's Creations, namaste. Super Rizzo Gamer, Cubs won 2 years ago. Talking about some more baseball here. Let's see. Steam enthusiast, I spent 7 hours in 29-degree weather filming trains, and all my video can muster is 132 views. Yeah, unfortunately, the transaction of effort put into making videos and the people who watch them It does not always seem like a fair balance, but let's see. Grant Shed, what do you think about the review or the rewind this year? I was not a fan of YouTube's rewind. If you haven't watched the video that MKBHD did on the rewind, Marcus Brownlee, who was actually in Rewind, did a video about the problem with it. And he actually does a great job of explaining why it is what it is and why people don't like it. So I definitely recommend checking out his video on the topic. After the live stream, of course. All right, guys. So here, hang on one second. I want to get this. So the giveaway. So for those of you who don't know, I do consulting for channels. So I do one-on-one Skype and Zoom calls with people where we go over their particular channel and niche, and we talk about ways to actually improve their channel and what their strategy should be to grow their channel. It's something that I've been doing for a while now, and I thought it would be a cool idea if I gave away that service. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give away a free one-on-one consultation to go over your channel via Skype or Zoom, whether it be video or audio, depending on what your preference is. It's probably a lot more helpful to do it on video because we can actually go over some stuff, but we can handle it audio too if that's a restriction that you have. All that I would say is you have to be at least 18 or older to enter. And the way it's going to work is, let me see here. The way, and where it's, we want to get to this guy and this. So I just put a link in the chat. That is a registration page. It basically provides information to join the Creator Fundamentals newsletter. And what I'm going to do is next Wednesday, I'm going to draw the first one. It's going to be like my Christmas giveaway for a free one-on-one channel review. You know, undivided attention on your channel and trying to get your channel going. So the way I'm going to do that is between now and then, I'm putting that link out there. You can go and you can register. I'm going to pick somebody off the list. And then I'm going to start doing this each month. I'm going to give away one free one each month. So as long as you're on the newsletter list, you're eligible. That's all you have to do is sign up. Just make sure you put your name and your YouTube channel so I can see your content ahead of time. But we're going to do that. I'm going to pick the first one next Wednesday. And that's going to give you, like I said, the one-on-one video call. And then I'm going to upload the video and give you a link to it so you can watch the replay anytime you want. So that's the giveaway. So if any of you are already signed up for the newsletter, you don't have to do anything. You're going to be in the running because I'm going to pick from the list, the existing list. But if you're not, definitely follow that link and fill in the information and get on the list. And on Wednesday, I will pick somebody from that list to get the first free one-on-one channel review. All right. And again, we'll throw that out there. And if any admin wants to just click on that link and, well, let's see. I can do that. Make sure it works on my end. Yes, definitely. Cool. Oh, I've been under review for 2 months. Any tips? Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're under review to kind of expedite that process. I know a lot of people wanted it, especially the first time it came around when they had the big delay and all that. But hopefully that'll get around to that. You do want to make sure that you are still under review and they haven't failed you. So I would definitely check all my emails and check the status on YouTube itself just to make sure. But otherwise, you're kind of stuck in limbo unless they've specifically told you of a reason why they couldn't approve you. West Coast Cajun Cuisine, it's absolutely free to register, so there's no harm in doing so. If you happen to get picked next week, we can still have a conversation about what your focus is and whether those 3 videos are doing a good job of aligning your channel with what you hope to accomplish. I mean, I've seen your content, so I have a general idea of what you're going for. But yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely have a meaningful conversation. We can look at your branding and everything and how to tighten that up. You know, off the top of my head, I do have a couple ideas that I would share with you based on the first video that I watched of yours. So yeah, I think it's worth it. iSpike, yeah, that I honestly thought the same thing when that popped up in there. I think it was the bottom line is you can disregard that. I think the purpose of it is to provide. I don't remember if it was part of. I would say just ignore it. There was something at the time, so I use MailChimp, and I don't remember if they suggested that or what it is. I think basically what you could do there is provide a URL to an image that you would want to use with the idea that you had a profile on my side, but I'm not creating accounts with your stuff, so you can disregard the profile image. It's just, as opposed to uploading an image, you just have the opportunity to link to an image of yourself. But since I'm not creating profiles, you can disregard that particular field. I honestly don't know why I left it there. What I think I actually did is I have other forms that collect that information, and I usually omit it on them. But this particular form I did as an embed on my website, and I think it just included that field by default, and I didn't remove it. So you can ignore it. It's not a required field. Yeah, Grant, I was in the same boat. I was monetized and then lost it back in, you know, that whole thing back in February or whenever that was. Alrighty. And yeah, I see some comments in there. Didn't know about your consultation. For those of you who don't know, I also have a website. It's creatorfundamentals.com. So you can definitely check it out there. It's a good centralized place to get to my videos, see the services that I offer. There's some free tools on there that you can use, like a channel art template and a image that you can use for your subscribe button. Your watermark subscribe button, the one that you see in this video in the lower right-hand corner. I actually created that image that you can download and use on your channel to add that subscribe button to your videos. All right. MailChimp is a free mailing list service. It lets you do... Well, I think it's free up to like 2,000 people on your list. It helps you create like landing pages where people can sign up to your mailing list. And it also provides a number of other features, including, you know, some automation and stuff you can do with that. So right now, the way that I have it set up is once a week now, I'll send out an update. That's going to list the updated posts on creatorfundamentals.com, which is just going to be everything from a recap of the videos that I put out that week, as well as some other information. Nothing overwhelming. Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Hey, Dan, many thanks for your help. I just passed 1,500 subs last week, coming up from less than 100 in February. You really helped me, and I appreciate it. Awesome. Great to hear. Congratulations on 1,500. That's excellent. Grant Shed, how do I get started with affiliate marketing? First thing I would try doing is signing up for a program like Amazon Associates. There's also Share a Sale. There's a number of different affiliate marketing sites that you can sign up for to work with companies. But basically the way it works is depending on what your content is, you know, whether you're talking about products or services or anything like that, just over the course of your videos, you can certainly incorporate that, grab affiliate links for those products, share them in the description of your videos, and start to get the ball rolling on collecting a little bit of extra money with things like that. Cotton Candy Corner just invited another YouTube friend. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And hey, if anybody's out there, if you want to share this on social media, that would be appreciated as well. And definitely hit that thumbs up button if you're still hanging out. Super Rizzo Gamer, I know what happens when someone clicks the link and then purchases it. Purchases what now? Oh, yeah. So basically when somebody clicks the link, you get a little piece of the sale. And some affiliate programs are much better than others. Oh, yeah, that's another thing I wanted to... Let me see if I can find that. Let's see. YouTube. Okay. I want to show you guys something. So... let's see. This one. And bear with me. I want to show you guys something because I think I see you talking about it out there. All right. So one of the things that went out recently, which was kind of interesting and a lot of people were talking about, YouTube sent out these emails. Said, YouTube, you're invited, ready to take your channel to the next level. While your channel's really taking off, let's bring it to rock star status with a personalized channel consultation. So I saw some conversations where people said that these were sent out to anybody over 10,000 subscribers, but it seemed like they just sent out a bulk of them to channels in the last 12 to 24 hours, I'd say. So they're basically giving these channels an opportunity to speak to somebody at YouTube and basically get a channel review from YouTube. They're offering one-on-one support from a YouTube expert, best practices for the channel, and a deep dive into your channel performance at no cost to the creator. So it's interesting. I actually went through it and signed up, so I will share the experience with you guys when that comes to fruition. I believe it said something to the effect of a couple weeks when I signed up for it. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Let's see. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. I don't even know. All right. Just trying to catch up here. Gigwagon Dan, any thoughts on using a YouTube channel to promote a website for bands? I mean, I'd probably have to know a little bit more information about that. Like what the purpose is. What the purpose is of the website for bands. I mean, depending on what type of services you're providing bands or why you're trying to gather bands to the website, there may be an opportunity to create content. Rather than simply trying to drive people directly from YouTube to the website, I would probably try to develop a brand and content on YouTube itself. To be a place that bands want to go and watch your videos, which will naturally send them for more information to your website. But would definitely need to know a little bit more detail about what your goal is on that website and why you want to get them there. JeepYJ91, Dan, I'm late again, but you made it, so that works out well. Great to have you here. All right. Lydia Santiago just got off work. I was like, I hope I didn't miss it. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Right, Brune, I need YouTube to help me claim my mom's channel from 2010. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a way to, hopefully there's a way for you guys to do that. I think we talked about that before. Doc Rock, I've been a creator since 09, have 3,500 subs, but most of them are stale for lack of a better word, not very active or engaged. So basically starting from scratch, learning a lot from you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I see that a lot. Anytime I see, pretty much any channel that I go to, I kind of look into what's going on. And a lot of times you can see that. I mean, I've seen channels with 20, 30, 40,000 subs, and then you go in and you look at, some of the analytics that we can see from the outside, and you can tell that whatever was going on when they gained them all isn't really happening now, and they're struggling to get, to get subs and views on a daily basis. So that kind of thing can happen. Happens for a number of reasons. It's funny because I've also seen the opposite. I knew a channel that, actually I know a guy who has a really successful Pokemon Go channel now, but that channel originally started a long time ago of them doing like pranks and things, and he had actually left his channel, and while he was gone, the channel had a video that went viral and gained over 1 million views. Wasn't monetized or anything like that, and he came back and found that he had kind of missed that opportunity, but he's definitely turned that around with the Pokemon Go content and become kind of like a pretty significant channel in that space. Linda Santiago, reviewed my stock channel as you suggested. Our tips help. Thank you so much. I just hit 1,000 subs. It took 6 months. Is that good or bad? Definitely not good or bad. Every channel grows different. The fact is you got to 1,000 subs, and a lot of channels never do. So be proud of that, and just work on growing and not trying to compare. If you want to compare anything, try to compare your current performance to your previous performance. And as long as you're seeing growth in that regard, then you're on the right track. There's just nothing positive to be gained from trying to compare your channel to what other channels are doing. And there's a lot of opportunity to have it make you feel miserable, because you'll always find that channel that seems to be growing faster by doing less work, and it's just not a happy thing. All right. Okay, so let's get here, and where is it? Okay. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. It is channel review time. I'm going to pick a few channels to do channel reviews on. If there's a good chance I'm not going to be able to get to every channel that wants a channel review, because unfortunately the number of channels that want them always exceeds the time available. So here's what we're going to do. If you want a channel review, I want you to tag Creator Fundamentals in the chat and also put your full channel name. And also I'm going to allow any channel review requests through Super Chat to move to the front of the line. So we're going to take a few here and get them on the list. And make sure nobody's videos start. Okay. Give me just a moment here. And definitely don't ask for a channel review more than once you do it right. All right. Make sure that's not doing that. Okay. Got some good candidates in the mix. All right. Thank you, Gino, for the super chat. Definitely going to get you in line here. All right. Okay. And put that there. Oh, stop scrolling. All right, here, let's see. That should be right there. This one. Right there, maybe? Let's see. Doing these in the right order. And that one goes over there. Okay. All right. Where did that one go? That one was after. It goes right there. Okay. Come on, chat. Work with me. All right. Get over there. Just trying to get everything organized. We are just about there. All right, then we're going to look at this real quick and see. Alrighty, and all right, so I'm going to put that one at the end, and we got a bunch of these tonight. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So right now we have 12 channels to review. So I will get through all of them. It might take a little while to do that, but we're going to take a look. In the interim, you do have the opportunity to bump yourself up to the front of the line if you want to. We are going to start with the first super chat request, which is not on my screen the way I want it to be because I had to change my view for that email I showed you guys. So let me fix this display real quick. Make sure that looks good. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. All right. And right there. Brilliant. Okay. So the first channel up is Keto, or Gino Cooks Keto and More. All right. So looks like kind of looks like bacon in the background, if I had to guess. Let's see what we got going on here. And I see... All right, so the one thing that I would say on your description, when your video gets shared on certain platforms, you're going to have a little description of the video that pops up. It's only going to be so many characters. I always suggest when you're writing your description that the first line of your description get to the point immediately on the type of content that your channel makes so people know what to expect. So I would get straight to the point. I'm going to show recipes for both keto and regular way of cooking. Not really sure how that's going to work out for you. If you're doing both keto and non-keto type recipes, I would kind of think about that a little bit. In terms of consistency, I don't know if the more spelled the way it is with the 2 O's is in reference to somebody's name. Plus, also for consistency, Cooks would have an uppercase C as well. When you're doing a formal title like that, you would want all that to be uppercase. Let's take a look at your actual videos, see what you got going on here. Oh, I don't even know what that means. Okay, lighting the wedgie. So generally speaking, not a huge fan of doing thumbnails in white, because for anybody who's not using the dark mode, they kind of blend in, and they don't particularly, the white itself doesn't stand out. The other thing that I would say is I would look into finding a better way to represent your branding than just doing your full name like this, because it's so small, it's difficult to see. So people aren't really going to be able to understand what's going on there. The other thing, when you're doing a food channel, you have the golden opportunity to entice people with the imagery that you're sharing. So like in these, rather than doing that little picture of the product that you're cooking, I would try to make the entire thumbnail, as an example, a single photograph. And also to that end, because we're trying to entice people to watch our videos, rather than showing what I'm not sure, I can't really tell it almost if that turkey is actually cooked or not in that particular picture. But what I would say is that try to show a nice, vivid, full frame image of the finished product, because that's what's going to entice people. Food is a great thing, a great subject where you don't really need a lot of text. And I would push the imagery of the food as much as you can, and make it the focal point of your thumbnails. And the keto and more, I would, I feel like you might have a little challenge with that just from a focal point. Like, are you making just anything and some of them happen to be keto? Sometimes you might have a little bit of a challenge with keeping your audience engaged if people subscribe for something that's keto and then you're making recipes that aren't. That's certainly something to consider also. It's kind of the trade-off you have to make if you're trying to grow a channel versus just being able to make videos about anything you want. And then techniques and tools, halibut favorite. All kinds of stuff going on in here. You got, it looks like you have some older content, I'm imagining, with some wood. Now I'm kind of confused here. Do you have playlists with a bunch of other people's videos in them, maybe? That's probably what I'm looking at. This is just a collection of videos that you've collected versus your actual content. So, all right. And then I see here you have this image. I don't know if this is, you know, what this has to do with your branding, but I would consider trying to get all this to kind of work together and then bring, you know, the consistency of, you know, whether you have a logo or something into your channel art and your icon and also onto your thumbnails themselves. And I feel like, and I'm not 100% sure, but the text on your channel art looks kind of wide, so there's a chance some of that might get cut off on mobile, and you definitely don't want that to happen. So I would look into that as well. And yeah, okay, the playlists are not all yours. And let's see here. Okay, give me a minute. We're going to get into the next one here. So the next channel that we're going to take a look at, make sure that all lines up properly, which that's still not the way I want it. That's better. All right, so this next channel is Grant Shed. New videos every week. So there's a couple things I'll say about this. The imagery that you're using for your channel art, I am assuming was not made with the proper dimensions because it looks kind of pixelated. So I'm imagining that the image that you used was a little bit smaller than it should have been, and is now kind of being stretched to fit the space, and therefore it gets all kind of grainy. The other thing that stands out about the channel art is it doesn't tell me what your channel is about. There's nothing on that I can come to your channel quickly and understand what you're making content about. So that's something that you really need to consider. We go into the About section, 14-year-old trying to make entertaining videos of his life. So you're kind of doing vlogging. So rather than just try to go this, you know, famous YouTuber route where people already know the content and the channel art's not necessary, I would actually try to educate people on what your content is. So if you are doing videos about your life, you know, are you just doing daily vlogs? Or you're doing weekly content, but what is the actual content that people should expect? I would try to put some thought into that and try to articulate that to explain to people exactly what they are going to see videos of down below your name here, instead of simply that they're just going to get videos every week. Again, because when somebody visits your channel, the goal, you're basically advertising to them. You're trying to explain to them in a short amount of time why they should care about your channel and why they should subscribe. And unless you're pushing content to your channel from somewhere else, where they have an opportunity to figure that out ahead of time, people who come to your channel aren't going to be able to get much out of your channel art. And then if we look at your home page, I see a couple gaming videos, but it's not super clear the type of content that you're making. And then as you continue, so you have an opportunity as you continue to make content and you have playlists that have more content, instead of listing all of your playlists, you can actually take each playlist and list it horizontally as a single playlist. It'll put 5 videos, or depending on your zoom, less or more. You might max out at 5. In any event, it gets more content on the screen in a smaller amount of space and gives people more opportunities to understand what your channel is about and the potential of converting more people to subscribers on your channel. All right. And also, if you're going to use your face as your icon and that's going to be like part of your branding, I would possibly consider using an image where you're facing the camera and not using the back of your head. And then when you're applying that to branding on your thumbnails, try to find a way to incorporate some element of that on the thumbnail so people know they're your thumbnails. All right. All righty. Where are we? Okay. Checking chat real quick here, and then we will move on. Okay, that one. And come on. Right there. All right. So the next channel up is Malvik. This is another case, kind of a cool looking channel art. I have no idea what the channel's about though. You're consistent with your branding in terms of getting that M into your icon, so that's great. And then if we look at your videos, are we bringing that element into your actual thumbnails, which I don't see that you are. And then you're doing some interesting stuff on your thumbnails to try to get views, which YouTube is kind of cracking down on. Yeah, so I would definitely, let me see what your channel is supposed to be about here. Vlogs, podcasts, exploring, ghost hunting, and firefighting videos. You're welcome. All right. So the first thing is I would try to communicate in your channel art what you're actually making videos about. I'm also a little bit concerned that that channel art might not fit properly on mobile. I'm just going to look here real quick to see. Hopefully there's not a ton of channels by that name. Of course, I actually see 2 different channels with the same name and the same icon. Oh, yeah, that does. That just squeezes in there, so that's good. So you gave some thought to that. That is good. But again, you still have the opportunity. I mean, if anything, the icon is overlapping your lettering a little bit on mobile. I'm assuming, yeah, this is the same one, right? Vlog, make sure. I didn't even see that. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So you can see on, let's try to do this backwards. Your icon here kind of overlaps your text, so you could align that a little bit better so that doesn't happen if you were so inclined. But yeah, I would think there's an opportunity on your thumbnails to get branding on them so people know that they're yours. I would also avoid that idea of using gratuitous pictures to get people to click on your videos, because that's probably going to kill your watch time and your views per impression when you do something like that and somebody clicks on the video and it has nothing to do with the thumbnail that you used. You know, and just looking at the images that I'm seeing on your vlogs, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that probably wasn't a picture of you. So, as the topic of the video suggests, of course, it's hard to tell because I'm seeing. We see challenges. Not really sure who the star of this channel is here. All kinds of different people on this channel. So whoever it is, I am thoroughly confused. In any event, people still need to know that they are your videos. So you want to make sure that you incorporate that branding everywhere, including your thumbnail, so people know that you're yours. And also the topics that you had mentioned here. This is kind of a really wide random collection of videos. If your goal is to grow as fast as possible, you may want to consider focusing in on something a little less scattered than what you have going on there. But those would be the suggestions on that. Thank you so much to the Ripe Rune for that super chat. I appreciate it. All right. Catching up here. Oh, Gino Cook says that everything does fit on mobile. D checked it for him. So that's good. Ow. For anybody that wears glasses, do you have the problem where those little things just get all bent up and they make it very uncomfortable? All right, let's see. You need. Okay, just catching up here. All right, and let's see who we got next here. Okay, make sure. I'll see, that looks a little high. We need to lower that a skosh. There we go. All right, next channel up is Doc Rock Tips, Technology, Travel, and Lifestyle. And I have Attack of the Cat in the background. Can I help you? He does what he wants to do. All right, so technology, travel, and lifestyle. What in Lord's name are you doing, kitty? Oh, Lord. I think we're about to have a cat just dive into the live stream. All right, let me look here. I review stuff, technology, Seasaki gear, videos, photography, whatever. If you need it reviewed or have a tutorial, I'm your guy. Here comes a cat. You know, he just doesn't really care. Come here. Come here. All right. Come on. I have like this thing that I'm doing. I'm reviewing channels, so you're just going to have to be a little more cooperative. In any event, yeah, I know. So I feel like, so in your description, you're talking about like reviewing stuff, and that, you know, that seems to kind of be your umbrella. You'll review whatever. But then you're called Doc Rock Tips, and you're focused on technology, travel, and lifestyle. I feel like there's some opportunity there to kind of, you're losing hair everywhere, to kind of tighten up your message there. I like the look of your channel art. You know, it's very eye-catching, but I feel like I don't quite, based on your description, I feel like it should be a channel of reviews, which to me is a little bit of a disconnect from tips. So let's see here. Let's look at the actual videos that you're making and see what's going on. The first thing I notice about your most recent thumbnails is they're a little bit busy text-wise. I think you have a lot more on there than you need to. And so I'm seeing what appears to be, like, it looks like you got this little logo going on that I assume that says Doc, which is cool, but you're not using that anywhere else. I don't see it in your icon or your channel art. So if that's kind of where you're going and that is the branding that you want to use, I would expect to see that in your channel art. Also, I feel like the emoji or whatever that you have in your channel art is cool, but then you're using your real face in your icon and your real face on your thumbnails. And I don't know that people are necessarily going to bridge the gap between those, and know that that is you. I like the fact that your most recent thumbnails are consistent in design, but I think you can kind of eliminate a lot of that text with the idea that we're not trying to reproduce all the text from the title in the thumbnail. We're just trying to get something on there eye-catching to slow people down long enough to actually read the title and figure out what's going on. So like in that case, in that second video down here where you're talking about the 8 terabyte external drive, I would probably have a much more prominent image of the drive itself and not all this text and then the tiny little image down there. And then, like you said, you were going in or refocusing your channel. The other thing that you don't need to do is you don't need to include a YouTube logo in your thumbnails because that's where people are seeing it, so it's kind of redundant. People know that the videos are on YouTube, so you can get rid of that, and that'll save you some room. And let's see. Yeah, okay, there's a bigger version of your logo, which is cool. You just need to get that incorporated into your channel art and your icon. You got uploads. The cat is eating my beard because why not? So down here you have one of the things that we want to do with the titles of our playlists is to actually use searchable titles. So if you're doing how-to content, maybe you kind of find an overriding theme and use like the something in there that people might actually search for, like how to do XYZ or whatever it is, whatever you're focused on in that playlist. Now, if you're doing how to a bunch of different things that aren't connected, I wouldn't put them all in the same playlist. But if you like I see a couple in there that look like cocktails, And so maybe I would do like a keyword or a playlist of how to make the best cocktails, you know, something generalized that covers, you know, like an umbrella over the overall topic of the playlist. And then I would get a full description in the playlist itself that explained to everybody the type of content that you would be covering in that playlist. It's going to give people information about what's going on. It's going to give them a lot of content to look at. And then you definitely want to get as many of those playlists laid out so people can see what you got going on. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's where I would go there. I'm going to jump in the chat here real quick. Holy crap, this kitty cat is losing its mind. All right, here. All right, here. Would you stop? Psycho cat. These people don't want to listen to you destroy. You know, you do live streams and the cat just decides that he don't care. All right, stay there. Stop being crazy. All right. And we're going to get back to the list here. I think I'm caught up on chat. Okay. All right, so the next channel up. Okay, you've got to go. Way too high maintenance. Probably covered in hair now. All right, so the next channel up is Lydia Santiago, My Investing Journey. Let's take a look, see what we got going on here. All right. Just as a general presentation thing, I think you could lose the dash there because you have it broken on 2 lines, so you probably don't need that dash. Just for presentation purposes, obviously, it's fairly easy to read. Can't really tell what's going on in the background, but that's not necessarily a problem. Videos will be about the progress of my stock portfolio. I do recall this channel basically focusing on investing and tracking. Good luck with all that this past couple of weeks. Stock market has been sinking like a lead balloon. I think we had a little bit of a recovery this week, but whew, was not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. All right, so let's see. We got a general thing going here. Let me look at your, whoops, I want to look at your current videos. All right, so in the past 4 days, you've done these 3 videos. You definitely have, and I think we talked about this. You have different, if I remember, do you have different styles for different playlists? Let's see, because otherwise we're kind of all over the place here. So let me see. Oh my goodness. Click happy. All right, so let's see. I think those are all, well, those are mostly, there's a random one in there. So you're kind of doing this by okay, stock gains. So I would avoid doing a bunch of videos that all have the same exact thumbnail like these. I would try to find something more interesting to do on those. I mean, like in this, you're doing like a recording off of your phone. You could do like a snapshot of this screen and incorporate that into your actual thumbnail to give people a sense of how it's, you know, it's different and what's going on. rather than just doing an entire playlist where everything has the same the same thumbnail. And the other thing, even though you're doing all these different now I'm breathing cat hair. You're doing all these different thumbnails to differentiate with the playlists, which is not necessarily a bad thing by any means. You still want to find a way to incorporate some kind of branding to associate all these things together. Again, if you're in all your videos or in a majority of your videos, I see you in the icon here. The one video I clicked in, I did see you. Try to incorporate yourself into the channel art as well. And then get some type of indicator on these different playlists that they are that they're your videos, and people should be able to tell by looking at your thumbnail that they're your videos. Otherwise, you're definitely being consistent in your different playlists, but I would explore ways to create some uniqueness in each individual's video's thumbnail. Because there's nothing, if people are, on the home screen or somewhere else and they've watched, this video, nothing's really going to alert them to check out this video because they look at the thumbnail, they recognize it and go, yeah, I already watched that one. So you're probably missing some opportunities here because people are getting confused by your thumbnail design thinking that they've already watched some of the content. So I would try to get some of that mixed, get some variety in there to kind of show that each video is its own and not just part of a series. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, and seeing all the excitement in the chat, people getting banned, all kinds of stuff. All right. And catching up here. All right, so grabbing the next channel here. The next channel up is Jeep YJ91. So I see a Jeep and I see a tractor trailer. But I don't know that I really know what the channel's about looking at that channel art. Jeeps, Miatas, boats, Ford E-Series, and more. Formerly Jeep Collector 91, now down to only 2 Jeeps. The channel name has changed to Jeep YJ91. Let's see what you're doing for videos, because I'm not... I would probably refrain from starting a description of a video with this video sucks. You're probably not inviting a bunch of people to watch your content. Also, you haven't done videos for 4 years, so not a whole lot to look at here. You definitely got to make current content in order to be focused on growing your channel, and I'm certainly not seeing any of that. So that's definitely something that you should start with. All right, so the next channel up is the Southern Alberta Redneck. So the first thing about this channel art, while it is nicely animated, it's way too wide to fit on mobile. This is all going to get cut off somewhere around, I think we figured probably around there and maybe around there. So you definitely want to rework that so it fits in the appropriate space. But otherwise, I think it paints a fairly specific picture. Also, the icon, I would probably try to get, it's just too small to read. I see it kind of, I assume it's the name, but there's like 3 individual pictures. You can't really make out what they are. If you could try to get a single image and get that on there, that would probably help people understand what's going on in there. Thanks a bunch for checking out my YouTube channel here at Southern Alberta Redneck. How-to videos, funny videos, prank calls, scaring people, educational stunts, and more. Let's take a look at your actual videos. So you're consistent in the type of font that you're using, but I would probably explore some other font choices. This particular one, I would definitely go for less text than what you have going on here and try to emphasize the image itself rather than, you know, trying to you're basically recapping the entire title, and you don't really need to do that. You want a picture that gets people intrigued so they'll read your title, but you're not trying to recreate the entire title on the thumbnail. You know, so make, you know, use imagery that captures people's attention and gets them to slow down and look at your video and decide whether or not they want to actually click in and see what's going on here. So it definitely seems to be like a comedy spoof channel kind of thing you got going on there. And I think you can kind of play with the image that you're using more than trying to add words to explain to people what's actually going on there. See how we got playlists going, prank videos, how to. Oh, the cat's around here doing something they shouldn't be doing. If the live stream suddenly goes down because the cat's eating cords. All right. On your home screen here, cat is trouble. Definitely an opportunity on your main page here to get some playlists listed out. When you're logged in as yourself, you're going to have an option to customize your channel over here if you're in the newer version. Otherwise, you're going to have, if you're in the old version, you're going to hover down to the bottom of the page, and there should be a little button that shows up that says Add Section. There you can go into Add Single playlists, get the playlist listed out so people can see as much of your content as possible when they visit your channel, and they can make the decision on whether or not your content interests them. And the more you can show them in the shortest amount of time is certainly going to help them make that decision. All right. So Jeep Y91, I have a ton of footage, just not able to edit with my current computer. There's actually I would try looking for online editors, or I think somebody mentioned trying to do some editing on your phone. See what opportunities are available there. Or just try to keep the editing really basic if you do have a computer that you can maybe just trim clips and kind of get them together that way. But alrighty, Scott's Thoughts channel, welcome to the live stream. Great stream. All right. Next channel up is the Ripe Ruin. All right, let's see what we got going on here. The Ripe Ruin, feel the fear and do it anyway. Let's see what we have in the About section. My name is Natalie, your average everyday gal from the state of bipolar weather and 4 confused seasons, Utah, which seems to be the, you know, ground zero for all that is YouTube. There are so many creators out of Utah. Again, in this case, for your description, I would kind of lead with the type of content that you plan on making. Try to give people an understanding of like what's in it for them. Very often people use the description to talk about themselves and why they're doing what they're doing. But I think it's important in your description, at least as the opening lines, that you're kind of conveying what's in it for the viewer. If you want somebody to subscribe to your channel, why would they do that? Now, some will simply read your story and think that it sounds like something interesting and go for that. Others will be less patient and may not want to read all the paragraphs. So if you can lead with it, give them an idea of the type of content that you're sharing. You know, that may put you in a position to actually you know, convert more people who visit your channel into actual subscribers. So we take a look at your videos. So you're basically kind of doing like a lifestyle vlogging type, you know, personality channel with a motivational or inspirational angle on it. The one thing that I would say, generally speaking, most of your thumbnails, you can see you in them, but like this one and this one, nobody's really going to be able to identify you and associate it with your channel. So I would try to look for some way to find some consistency in either color schemes or the type of font that you use, or a combination of both, to kind of tie all of your content together. If you're trying to get your, you know, your brand, so to speak, out there and known to people. Otherwise, I mean, if you have a channel where you're doing content where every video is intended to kind of live on its own and they don't really have anything to do with each other, you know, there's those channels that are like compilation channels and those kind of things, which I'm still trying to decide how I feel about those type of channels. But in this case, because you're kind of doing this from a personality perspective, I would think there's some opportunity here to kind of get everything working together so people know that it's your stuff. And generally speaking, you're doing that. It's just when you get a video like this where you're so far away, nobody can really tell it's you. And then definitely keep your text out of the lower right-hand corner so it doesn't get eaten up by the timestamp. And as you continue to develop more content, you want to get your playlists created and filled out and get those playlists listed on your page here. And then the other thing, The other challenge with your channel name, and I know we've had the conversation about the origin of your channel name, but I think for a lot of people, they won't understand it. So I might even, after you've done your headline, kind of go into how and why you chose the name The Ripe Ruin. And I also think that's a typo, because isn't that's supposed to be ripe and ruin, not rip and ruin, right? So we want to get that tweaked. And again, this is a cool picture, but it's really hard to see that it's you. And if you do like that picture, I would consider getting that maybe chopped out and maybe putting that image in your channel art to kind of tie everything together. And maybe you could even use that image as the bit of branding on each channel art to identify that they're your videos. Thank you so much to Adam Immune for the super chat. Looking for a channel review also, so we will pop you up here on the list. All right. And you're welcome, GYJ91. Yeah, once you start getting back into the swing of the content, we'll be able to take a look at the channel and see the direction that you're going, kind of get everything moving in the right direction for you. All right, so the next channel up here. All right, so the next channel up is Adam Immune. Got a lot going on here. So Adam Immune, paleo, AIP, keto, fasting, food is medicine, Adam Immune at Gmail. All right, so got a lot going on in the channel art. I see a disconnect between the channel art that you have here and your icon. Don't really see any relation between the two. And then we come down here and we look at your actual thumbnails, and I see the common theme is certainly you. So you seem to be a very present branding item in your thumbnails. So I would, plus you're also using the name here as another form of branding. I would be inclined to include yourself in your channel art more so than the bat emoji you got going on over here, because I think that would do a better job to kind of clue people into what the channel's about. And also I would look for something other than this icon, which I don't really get what it's supposed to be in relation to your channel. Healthy Heroes channel is all about helping you improve your autoimmune health naturally. I found remission in 140 pounds of weight loss. By changing my diet and lifestyle, you can too. All right. So generally speaking, your thumbnails are all easy to identify as your channel. They're not overly wordy. And you're doing enough between your image and your channel name there to get the branding on, or to show people that they come from your channel. let's see. Let's take a look here on your home page, see how you got that set up. Come on. Stop. All right. We got uploads, popular uploads. See, I would tend to choose to not use both of these here at the top. I would be inclined to create like my own popular uploads channel playlist and get a description in it and use something maybe that includes your channel name, so it could be an actual searchable playlist. You got your descriptions in here, which is good. Yeah, that all looks great. And how long have we been going here? It doesn't show it on there. October 27th, 2017. So you're doing good. Yeah, so I mean, I would probably just, you got a few small tweaks. You know, consider the icon versus, you know, your image perhaps. I feel like there is a lot going on in terms of words on your channel art. You might be able to minimize that a little bit. And then maybe kind of rethink this icon so it kind of ties into everything else that you're doing here. Give me just 1 second here. Give me just a minute. Just catching up on chat here real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. See somebody out there in bear with me for 2 seconds. All right. Let's get the next one queued up here. Just take a quick peek here, see what's going on. All right, so we're going to take a look at this channel real quick. Not really sure what we have going on here. So, Icy Ape, about... Okay, so the channel is all focused on a game called Growtopia. Over 1 million downloads. So one of the things I would do is probably leave out the topic headers here, or at least on your first one, because that's, you know, going to show when there's a preview of your channel. Also seeing what appear to be two different looking apes here on your channel art. Also would probably not include your Instagram in your channel art, and I feel like that might get cut off on mobile as well. Looks close. And look at your most recent videos. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, there's a lot going on in these thumbnails. A lot of contrast issues with the font. Kind of difficult to read. And there's also some other content on them that I would probably refrain from if you're hoping to get your channel monetized at some point. And look at your home screen. And then you just want to get some descriptions in your playlists so people know exactly what you have, type of content that you have, and whether they want to subscribe to it. I mean, the one thing I would consider, since your channel is focused on a particular game, that you somehow reference that game in the channel art, unless Icy Ape is a reference to a character in that. If so, you can disregard that if people will know that that is that type of channel, but that is something to consider. But I definitely saw more than one instance of content in your thumbnails that will not help your channel get approved for monetization. All right, here. Almost to the end of this list. And all right. I think on this one we're just gonna do the channel art again real quick, because I know we've looked at this a lot. So Super Rizzo Gamer, I see you changed this a little bit. I don't know why you have the Adobe Spark image up here. The Super Rizzo Gamer is very difficult to read because it's over top a white background, so much of it gets blanked out there. And then you need some contrast with this wording. You definitely don't want to put text over text, so I would refrain from using the game's actual artwork in your channel art the way you're doing it here. I would try to find something a little more subtle that keeps it away from your name, but still explains to people the type of content that you are making. And I would definitely still recommend you work on that, you know, using a different icon than what you have there. But contrast is definitely a big thing in allowing your channel art to be readable, and obviously you also need to be concerned with using other people's artwork in that regard. I would maybe make something a little more subtle than that. All right. All right, here. Next one up, we have 2 more to go. next channel up is Rock River Rider. So I definitely see the motorcycles up here. Not really sure what that middle image is. I don't know if that's a head-on shot of headlights. I see you got your 3 R's here as kind of a logo. And I see down in your uploads here. Let's look at your most recent ones. All right, so based on the titles of these, you're making compilation videos. So rather than repeating the names of the videos in your thumbnails, I would get rid of all that text, and I would actually do a screenshot of a particular fail or wipeout or whatever it is you're doing, rather than putting all that text in. The problem with the text is there's too much of it, it's too small, and there's no contrast, so you can't read it anyway. So I would get rid of all the text. I would get rid of these caution signs, because if anything, they detract from the picture. They don't really add to it. And then try to get, you know, a close-up, decent picture of the actual, you know, an example of the type of content that is in the video. And then I would also certainly be cautious of using that you're using other people's clips with proper permission. Look at your About section. Because compilation channels are interesting because a lot of them have people submit content to them, and then other channels just go out and take content and create their own, you know, compilation videos. And for channels that do that, they could certainly be prevented from ever being monetized or anything like that for that reason. And then we go in your description, and it's like, I enjoy riding anything with wheels, but that doesn't really get into the idea that you're making motorcycle fails, thrills, chills, and nasty spills videos for your most recent content. Plus, there's also a serious SEO, search engine optimization issue here based on the views that, or lack thereof, on some of these videos, which means you're not actually targeting keyword phrases that people are using, because you should be able to get more views on some of these videos. I know the channel's looks like it's pretty new based on the subscriber count, but that's something that you can, you know, by targeting search terms that people are actually using, you're going to have a much better chance to grow your channel and get more views on those videos faster. All right. Chef Jelly, okay, night all. Thanks for stopping by. Medley Master, not going to lie, I don't usually watch live streams, so I just assumed this is how it's like. Doug seems to be getting a workout tonight. Got people self-promoting in the chat. I see somebody who's doing a not so hidden attempt to subscribe to a bunch of channels. Hopefully with absolutely no expectations of reciprocation, because that would be frowned upon. But there's certainly a diverse love for a wide variety of channels tonight. All right, so the last channel that we're looking at is iSpike. iSpike, A Colorful Life. Got some motorcycles out there. I see a drone that looks like a Porsche. See a David Bowie phase. Let's see what we got going on here for let's see. So rather than telling people they have to see this channel, tell them what type of content that you are making and why, you know, what's in it for them. Again, what type of content are you making that they might be interested in. Let's take a look at your most recent. So you're doing an iPhone unboxing. Is this 2 different videos of the same? Not sure what the 2 unboxing things are, if you got 2 different phones or what happened there. Collaboration music by Elena and drone film by iSpike. All right, so this recent content, seems like you're much more focused on interacting with other people than the content itself with all these hashtags. You definitely have a unique presentation here. Great share repeat support. I would probably refrain from using all of these hashtags in your and in fact, you don't really have a title to this video. You're just listing a bunch of hashtags, which is not going to give you a lot of opportunities to be found in search. Because when you look at any one of these individual hashtags, the odds of you ranking in one of those, it's like the equivalent of using a single word keyword phrase. You're not going to get to the top of that list. So I see that looks like you've been doing mostly yeah, I mean, the way that you're doing these titles and the content, it's kind of really hard to figure out what you're making content about, other than collaborating with other creators, especially with your most recent content. And I would really work on maybe targeting some searchable stuff occasionally. I see you're using TubeBuddy. That's a good start. But it seems like all your recent content is more about interacting than actual content. You got your iBot. Let's see. This is your. Let's see what this kind of video looks like. So this is a live stream also. Yeah, so I mean, So like your channel art, I see bikes, I see the drone, and some other pictures, and I just don't, it's just kind of confusing about what people are subscribing to your channel for, because we see all these things up here and just a colorful life, so it doesn't really give us an indication of specifically. One might think it's about, you know, motorcycles and drones, and then the videos are about unboxing an iPhone. This one's about a drone footage. But yeah, and again, with your description, you have to see this channel. I value your opinion. I want to be a master of filming and narration and editing. But I think it would benefit you to actually write down a statement of what it is that your channel is about. And once you do that, it would kind of guide your content in that direction, because it's kind of hard to tell. What's going on. And I think beyond the following that you've made, I saw like the no small creator tag, and I don't know if you're in like Facebook groups and stuff like that, and you're kind of developing a following through interaction, and and interacting with people in live stream chats and things like that. But I'm curious how much reach you're getting beyond those direct conversations, because somebody stumbling upon your channel might not really know what to expect from it. So I would probably try to kind of write down that mission statement or a description of what your channel is actually about, and then see if that guides the creation of the content that you make a little bit. Alrighty. But I love your presentation. You definitely have a good setup there for the live stream. So I think with a little bit of focusing, you'd have and reworking your titles and things, and dropping a lot of those hashtags out of your titles, you could probably grow better than you're growing now. Have a good night, Scott's Thoughts channel. All right, let's see here. All right, so once again, for those of you who joined the chat late, I announced a giveaway that I'm going to be doing next Wednesday on next Wednesday's live stream, and that is I am going to select one person to give away a one-on-one consultation to do a channel review over Skype or Zoom, along with kind of walking through with you one-on-one a strategy for your channel and how to grow. It's some of the consulting that I offer to people directly. You can sign up for that through the link that I just put in the chat. It's basically signing up for the Creator Fundamentals newsletter, and then next Wednesday I'm going to pick somebody off of that list to win that free one-on-one session with me over Skype or Zoom or whatever it is. So if you're interested in doing that, you can sign up for the newsletter. If you're already signed up for the newsletter, then you're already in the running for that, because I'm going to pick somebody from the list. If you're not, definitely sign up. I don't send out a ton of spam. You're probably going to get one email a week that just kind of recaps the videos that I put out for that week. So nothing over the top. I'm not going to send you daily emails or anything like that. It's just a good opportunity for us to keep in touch outside of the YouTube platform in case they do anything wacky. But next Wednesday, I'm going to announce the winner of that one-on-one session. If you want to see more information about the one-on-one consulting that I do, you can go to creatorfundamentals.com and click on services. But you can also check it out after you sign up for the list there. You can see services in the menu at the top. But going to try to do that, give out that once a month. So we will, if you don't get the one next Wednesday, you know, every month you're going to have an opportunity to win that free one-on-one session. So definitely get signed up for that if you're not currently signed up. Hey, it's been another great night. I appreciate all you guys coming to hang out here on the live stream tonight. We had a really decent crowd. And I hope you guys had a good time hanging out. We'll be here the same time next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And again, we're going to be giving away that one-on-one consulting. So hopefully you'll sign up for the list, and then you'll be here next Wednesday to hear who the winner is. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you guys next Wednesday. Take care and keep growing those channels.